gives me great pleasure to introduce our Chief Marshal, Nancy Hemis, who will officially open and close these commencement exercises. Professor Emeritus Hemis earned her BA degree in biology from Antioch College and her doctorate in experimental psychology at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She started at Queens College in 1972 and retired after 42 years. Professor Emeritus Hemis was a member of the Psychology Department Personnel and Budget Committee for 15 years, chair of the Academic Senate for 4 years, chair of the Internal Review Board for 7 years, director of the summer and winter sessions for 8 years, and established an animal learning lab at the college. At the CUNY Graduate Center, she served as sub-program head for 7 years, in addition to pursuing her scholarship on human and animal learning and perception. Professor Emeritus Hemis was able to mentor and encourage countless students. 2 of her doctoral students are now members of the Queens College Psychology faculty. Today, Chief Marshal Hemis wears the Queens College chain that lists the names of Chief Marshals from previous commencements. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Emeritus Nancy Hemis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 93rd commencement exercises of Queens College of the City University of New York are now officially open. Let us thank the students and faculty members from the Aaron Copland School of Music for sharing their talents with us this morning. President Matos Rodriguez, I'm honored to report that members of the graduating class, the faculty and staff of Queens College, and representatives from the Board of Trustees and Administration of the City University are gathered here for the 93rd commencement of Queens College. Now I ask that everyone stand and turn and face the flagpole behind you. We invite you to join in singing of the national anthem, which will be led by Jennifer Russo, who is graduating today with a post-baccalaureate advanced artist diploma.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Jennifer. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce the president of Queens College, Dr. Felix Matos Rodriguez.
Good morning, buenos dias. Are we ready for commencement? Yes. You know, when they were introducing our Chief Marshal, Professor Hemis, we mentioned that she's been for 42 years in the faculty, and I didn't feel a lot of love coming from you guys for somebody who's been 42 years in the faculty. So let's give a big round of applause to our Chief Marshal. Thank you for all you did on behalf of the college. It's an honor to be with you here this morning. We're delighted to be part of this commencement, congratulating all our students, their families, their loved ones, our faculty and the staff, everybody who made this journey possible. We have a couple of greetings for you, so I want to begin the program with someone who's always present at commencement, always wants to say greetings to the class now of 2017, and is always fighting for all of us in Washington with a track record of supporting all of us, particularly higher education, with distinction. So it gives me great honor to bring to the podium a great friend of Queens College, a great friend of all of us, with a unique special message for you, the senior senator from New York, Chuck Schumer.
Thank you. Thank you, President Rodriguez, and to the members of the platform, the friends and families of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2017 Queens College, congratulations. Now, first, I'd like to announce my class gift. As you know, it's hard to pay for college and graduate school. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. But what about the middle class? So, a few years ago, I wrote a law, it's now on the books, that says you or your parents, whoever paid for college, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes for every year of college and graduate school to help defray the cost of tuition, provided, in Washington there's always a provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, for those of you who come from families who make below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad, whoever paid, takes that tax credit. Last year, because it's relatively new, about a quarter of all the people who are entitled didn't take it. If you forgot to do it over the last few years, you can file a simple one-page form with the IRS and get up to $7,500 check in the mail. Not bad. Now, what happens if you come from a family that makes above $200,000 a year? God bless you. A word to the moms and dads. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife and I, Iris, sat here and watched our daughter, Jessica, graduate from college. It was one of the greatest days of our lives. When the kids get the diploma, mom and dad, they become an adult before your very eyes. Moms and dads, congratulations. A round of applause for you. Job well done. And one more word of thanks. As we're sitting here, having a great morning, there are young men and women, many from the New York area, in our armed forces. They're overseas. Some of them are risking their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan for us. Let's have a round of applause for them as well. Now, to this great class, Queens College 2017. You're graduating at a time when the world is changing dramatically. It's changing economically, it's changing technically, it's changing socially. And things are moving so fast. In the old days, you graduated from college and the odds were that you'd have the same job or at least work in the same field for the next 40 years. That's not so true anymore. Many of you will have several jobs, even several careers. Along with these economic changes, the internet has put so much information at your fingertips, it's sometimes hard to figure out what's important and to distinguish between what's true and what isn't. Even around the world, there are great changes. 25 years ago, words like terrorism and suicide bombing were never heard. Now, of course, unfortunately, they live with us. But the good news is this: your generation, is perhaps better equipped than any generation that's come before it to adapt to these changes, to overcome the obstacles they present, and seize the opportunities they afford, to pursue your passions and maybe accomplish, as Queens College graduates have in the past, big things. But right now, though, sitting in your seats, you may not be exactly sure what's going to come next. With so much of the world changing, it may sometimes feel, understandably, like you're jumping into an abyss. But the key, graduates, is not to fear the unknown. Embrace it, relish it, soak up every possibility it has to offer. Now, how do I know? Because I had feelings like this when I was your age, when I was seated at college graduation several decades ago, as you are today. I had just learned that I had won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I had never been out of the country before. But graduates, at the same time, I had met a girl and I fell in love. Ah. So class, I had to decide. Do I go around the world for a whole year on the all-expense-paid scholarship? Or do I stay home with the girl, my first true love? What would you have done, class of 2017? President Rodriguez, the class is divided. Graduates, I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap yet, you romantics in that corner. The story continues. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was wrong. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You're never gonna make anything of yourself. Hang it up right now. And in fact, I stayed in my house for several months, moped around, felt sorry for myself. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and a few years later, I found myself seated at graduation once again, this time from law school. But on the way home from law school, I broke the news to Mom and Dad that I was not going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them my love was politics. I told them my dream was to run for office. My parents, as you can imagine, were shocked. My mother was particularly disappointed. You see, I came from a working-class family. My dad was an exterminator, never went to college, never made much money, and the law firm was paying $400 a week. That was more money than my family had ever seen in those days. But my dream was to run for office, and so that fall, at the age of 23, I ran for the New York State Assembly, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate, there was a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So as she said, I'd get this dumb idea of being a politician out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I sure didn't get that girl. But that November, I won the election. So, to this great class, Queens 2017, on this day of your achievement, my advice to you is take the risk. Don't let fear of failure deter you, even though the world is so different and so quickly changing. For those of us who have gotten older and look back on life, one of the regrets so many people have is the what ifs. What if I had only done this? What if I had only gone there? So, my advice to the class of 2017 is very simple. Go for it. You're about to cast off into the unknown. Sometimes it can sure seem scary, but you've got great assets, a great education, one of the best that anyone can get in America here at Queens College, and parents, families that are always going to have your back through thick and thin. So garner up your courage, garner up your strength, put aside your doubts, and take a chance. And if you do, it is my hope, it is my prayer, and indeed, it is my confidence that you will find true success and true joy. To this great class at Queens College 2017, congratulations. Good luck, Godspeed, and don't forget, go for it. Thank you. Thank you for helping out this great place.
Let's hear it one more time for the Senior Senator of New York, Chuck Schumer. It is a privilege for me to serve as the president of Queens College. I've been here for 3 years. I've had the opportunity to get to know some of you and to watch you grow and get ready for this moment in the college. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of your accomplishments. I want to alert you to something as we begin the ceremonies. You're gonna see some folks walking around with some video cameras. This ceremony is being web streamed and live streamed all over the world, right? So, if you pick your nose or you do something funny, you might be caught on camera for life all over the world for the rest of your life, okay? So say hi to the camera and make sure that you look good for the people who are watching all over the US and all over the world. We are gathered here today and we have over 10,000 people here in this beautiful, beautiful quad. Thank you so much, graduates, because you guys brought the sun, right? You changed the forecast. So congratulations, you can change the weather. So today we have 10,000 family, graduates, faculty, and staff, loved ones. We have alumni from the class of 1947, 1957, and 1967, all of here, higher in this beautiful campus on the highest point at Queens, here to celebrate your many, many achievements. As you know, we're at the beginning of the Memorial Day weekend. Normally we have commencement on Thursday. We're having it on a Friday this year. So we want to make sure that in this weekend in which we remember all the ones that we have lost, who've served in our armed forces, who are veterans, we want to take a second to acknowledge the veterans who are among us and who are graduating here today. On page 43 of your booklet, we have a list of all the graduates who are veterans, and I would like to ask all the graduates who are veterans to please stand up. All the graduates who are veterans, please stand up, and let's give them a big, big round of applause and thank them for their service and for what they do. And now I want anyone in the audience, all of the audience who might be veterans, family, loved ones, parents, please, if you're a veteran, stand up in the audience, in the podium, yes? And we recognize and we thank you. We thank you for your service. We are an institution that changes people's lives, and we're proud to be a key integral part of the American dream machine. We have many among our graduates who are the first one in their families to obtain a degree, or the part of the first generation of siblings who gets their degree and gets a college education. So I would like to ask all the graduates who are the first one in their families to receive a degree, or the first ones, to please stand up. All of you who are the first one in your families to get a degree. That is a Queens College education. That is changing lives. Congratulations. Congratulations. We're so proud of you and your families. We also have a wonderful tradition at Queens College, is that generation after generation, our beloved alumni want to have their children come and be the beneficiaries of a great education here at Queens College. So I would like to ask of all the graduates, if you are the son or a daughter of a Queens College graduate, please stand up. If your mom and dad are alumni, please stand up. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And now, can I please have everyone in the audience who is a Queens College alum to please stand up. Oh, everybody who's an alum. Everybody who's an alum. Congratulations. We're very, very proud of you too. We have graduation, getting your college degree, getting a master's degree is a very important part in the life cycle of many individuals and many families. We have some individuals here with us today who are also, besides getting graduation, they're getting ready for another momentous change in their life cycle and to engage in a really wonderful experience. I know that some of you, and I found this through our information in WikiLeaks, some of you are engaged and about to be married soon. So can I please ask all of you who are engaged to please stand up? And I know Dina, yeah, Nicole Marie, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So to all of you, additional good luck. If you have a rock, you can show it and put it in the live stream all over the world. So congratulations on your diploma today and on your change of status very, very, very soon. And make sure that you file for that benefit that Senator Schumer mentioned before you get married, so it might not be able to count. The class of 2017 is really a remarkable class. And we have so many of you who have accomplished so much. And I want to highlight a few of the great achievements that exemplify the quality and the excellence of this graduating class. We have, and she spoke at the baccalaureate yesterday, a prestigious White House Internship Award winner, Naomi Sarah Ducat. Where's Naomi? Yes. Majoring in political science. We also have, from the National Science Foundation, the most important scientific organization in the country, one of our students received an honorable mention, and that's Tamar Lichter. Where's Tamar? Who's graduating with a degree in math. Over there. We also have an example of paying it forward. Among you is the first recipient of the Senior Class Legacy Scholarship. And that scholarship winner is Fernando Palaguachi. Where's Fernando? Hi there, Fernando. The award, the scholarship that Fernando received was made possible by the contributions of the class of 2016. They gave money in so one of your classmates could get a scholarship. So we want to make sure that next year there's somebody standing at this commencement with an award and a scholarship received from the support of this class, and we look forward to celebrating that alumni. Among you, there's an individual who's made history. She is the first person to go in the history record books with this accomplishment, and we're really proud of her. There is no one until now in the history of collegiate women's basketball, Division I, Division II, Division III, and any other division they might invent, ever, to have a career record of over 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 steals, 400 assists, and 100 blocks. One person, one woman in the history of collegiate women's basketball. She's graduating with you. Please, Madison Rowland, stand up and be recognized by your colleagues. Where's Madison? Wave. Oh, here we go. Up here. Thank you. And she's majoring for media studies. As you know, a wonderful event like this does not occur without the help of many, many individuals. We want to congratulate the families, the friends, the loved ones, the faculty and the staff, everybody who helped all of you graduates to get where you got here. But also, we want to give a special shout out to people that have been working extra hard in the last couple of days to make sure this ceremony is a big success. So can I please ask all of you to give a big round of applause to our public safety officers, our building and grounds people who've been making sure that the campus is beautiful, that everything is ready for you. The team from the commencement office and all the events planning, thank you so much for the work that you do. It is now my pleasure to introduce the members of the platform party. I will ask them to rise as a group, and some of them will be speaking to you individually and will be introduced later. First, let us welcome our deans and associate and assistant provosts. Please stand. Next, our vice president, assistant vice presidents, and cabinet members. Next, our very dedicated academic department chairs. Thank you. Next, our distinguished professors. The chairperson of the Academic Senate, Professor Manuel Sanudo. The chairperson of the Queens Professional Staff Congress Chapter, Professor David Gerwin. The co-awardees of the Paul Clapper Scholarship and the baccalaureate student speaker, Naomi Sarat Ducat. This is going to be special for all of you. The chairperson of the City University of New York University Senate and the only student member of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, Trustee Chika Oneyuka. And representing our own Queens College Student Association, the current and incoming president, Japnik Singh. And Jap is a graduate like you, who's graduating this year and going on for a master's in accounting. Because of their fine contribution to this beautiful morning, I thank the musicians from the Aaron Copland School of Music. Let's give them a big round of applause. A number of students conducted the ensemble just prior to commencement, and I want to highlight one of them who is a senior, is graduating among you, graduating with a BA in music education, Olivia Rodriguez. Where's Olivia? And to all the conductors and the wind ensemble, and please give them a round of applause. We have among us a number of elected officials who support the college, who are very proud of your accomplishments, and are an indispensable part of the work that we do in making sure that you have the quality education that you deserve and you have received. We're going to begin with the elected officials who represent the college. So I would like to ask to the podium someone who has been the chair of the Senate Higher Education Committee, a dear friend of the college, someone who attended graduate school here at Queens College and is always fighting, not just for Queens College, but for CUNY and for higher education overall. Please give a big Queens College welcome to our State Senator, Toby Ann Stavinsky.
Thank you, President Matos Rodriguez. He forgot to mention one other contribution I made to Queens College. My son was student government president a number of years ago. First, let me thank you for allowing me to share this important day with you. Queens College has changed from the time I attended graduate school here, but one thing that hasn't changed is the difficulty in finding parking. Hasn't changed. Queens College has many contrasts. Probably the most obvious one is the weather, because it was rainy when I came in, the sun came out when you entered, and now it's starting to cloud up. But it's the idea that the sun is coming and that this is going to be a sunny day for everybody. And Queens College is an urban college in a leafy, bucolic campus. The diversity that is Queens is also a global vision here at Queens College. You have scientific laboratories and research facilities and inspired teaching, but also a major center for culture and the arts. You have students who commute, they may commit also, who commute, but some who choose to live on campus in your residential halls. Many of you have come from countries all over the world to the United States, the land of opportunity to fulfill your dreams. As the abolitionist Harriet Tubman said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember," she said, "that you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world." And speaking of dreams, for so many of the undocumented young men and women who came here as children, their dream to attend college remains unrealized, which is why we in New York should pass the DREAM Act. So that the undocumented can come out of the shadows and work legally and attend college and be eligible for TAP. I, for one, welcome these young people. Opportunity must be available for everyone, and that includes the opportunity to attend college. And let us endeavor to protect our immigrants, to fight bigotry and discrimination, and let us stand up and resist the oppression and fight for the American dream. New York is the first state in the nation to provide free tuition for families earning up to $100,000 this year and $125,000 by 2020. It's called the Excelsior Scholarship because Excelsior, the New York State motto, means ever upward. So more than 200 years ago, Benjamin Franklin wrote, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." And may you continue to savor this moment, continue to be involved, continue to learn, and most importantly, continue to contribute. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Senator Stavinsky. Now, another individual who represents us in the State Assembly. She went to school right back there, so she knows this campus very, very, very well. She's a tireless advocate for all of you, texting me when things happen in Albany, sending me messages about legislation that can impact higher education, and always looking for ways to support what you do and to support the people in the district. So we're very, very proud that here in the 25th District, we are represented by our very dear friend, Assemblywoman Neely Rosick. Awesome.
Thank you, Matos Rodriguez, or as I like to say, fellow. Class of 2017, where you at? I think you guys can do a little bit better than that. Where you at? Just trying to keep up the energy here. So I'm Neely Rosick. I have the distinct honor and privilege of being the local assemblywoman who represents Queens College. And yes, I used to run around campus as a high schooler. I apologize for all those Townsend Harris kids who you might bump into along the quad. More importantly, as someone who's not that much older than many of you graduating today, as an OG millennial, I would say, I'm just here to say a couple of things. One, each and every single one of you is capable, inspiring, will go on to do amazing, great things. You will join movements, you will start businesses, you will reach to the stars and beyond. So whatever it is that you find passion in, whatever it is that you want to do in life, go for it, do it, you can accomplish it, because the people up here will support you, will be behind you 100%. And the last thing I want to say is always wear sunscreen. I know that on a cloudy day like today, you might not remember that, but that is the best piece of advice I can give each and every single one of you. So always wear sunscreen. Have a great graduation weekend. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Rosick, for that unique piece of advice. Thank you so much. Now, I'm proud to introduce the man who represents us in the City Council, who's also a well-known figure on campus. He is here, like Neely, in a number of events and works with our veterans group, with a number of other groups here on campus. He's an alum, so he's always looking after our interest. And he also has additional special connections to Queens College, which I will let him mention and not me. So please give a big Queens College round of applause to our local council member, Rory Langman.
Good morning, class of 2017. I'm Councilman Rory Lantzman. I have the distinct pleasure of representing this community in the New York City Council. It's a tremendous honor for me to be here, both as a graduate of Queens College, class of 1991. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm gonna get there soon. But it's also a great pleasure, you know, Senator Stavisky, I think it was, mentioned the issue of parking at Queens College. We've all experienced, when you get to be a councilman and they invite you to graduation, they give you your own special spot. It's such a great feeling. How could I miss that opportunity? But the other reason I love being here is, you know, Senator Schumer told the story about he didn't get the girl. I think what the president was referring to with me is that I was lucky enough not just to get a terrific education here and to be a graduate of this school, but I actually met my wife at Queens College. She's now a judge, so I have to call her Your Honor, but still. Let me just say, as a city council member, I have a special message for you this morning. This is the City University of New York. Wherever you came from to get here, whatever part of New York State, the United States, whatever country from across the globe you came from to get here today, today you are New Yorkers. The City University of New York represents the very best of this, the greatest city in the world. We invest enormous resources in our City University, and we do that because we want all of you to have the opportunity to be able to achieve your dreams and to be the next generation of leaders here in our great city. So as you go forward in whatever career and profession you're going to start or continue in, because I know not everyone here just came straight from high school, know that you carry within you the hopes and dreams of this great city and the responsibility to represent this city well in everything that you do, and the responsibility, when those moments come, to step up and be a leader, to be a New Yorker for this city. We are so proud of all of you. Thank you so much for letting me share in this day. Congratulations, class of 2017.
I'm a little bit confused because I'm married to a dentist and I call her Your Honor. So I thought there's something that you just have to do. But what can I tell you? Also, from very nearby, and even though he doesn't technically represent us, he really does, because he's a key partner in many projects here in the college. He's also with the councilman in the council fighting for things in Queens. He grew up right across the street in Pomona, and also has family history here at Queens College. So let's hear it for Council Member Barry Grodenchik.
I'm not used to the long gown. My wife is a professor, but not me. President Matos Rodriguez, thank you for that very kind introduction. Unlike Councilman Lanceman, I did not meet my wife here. I tried very hard, but it just didn't seem to work. I grew up literally across the street. 57, those beautiful brick buildings, which are New York City public housing. And 57 plus years ago, my parents brought me home, and a few months later, a great American drove by in a caravan. He became our president. His name was John F. Kennedy, and he toured Pomona and Electchester, and he said hello to us, and he won a very narrow victory. His 100th birthday would have been this Memorial Day, this Monday. In his most famous quote, perhaps ever, in his inaugural address, he asked Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. It's very poignant for graduates to think about that. And there are clouds gathering both literally here and figuratively across our nation. It is time for you, the graduates of the class of 2017, to step up. You have got to get involved, you have got to be involved, and you have got to stay involved. It is your country, this is your democracy. I hope that with the benefit of one of the best educations that this nation has to offer, you will seize this opportunity and get involved. Maybe not as an elected official, maybe you won't run for office, but get involved in your community, support candidates, and do what is right for our democracy. The birthplace of tolerance in the new world is right here in Flushing. I'm not going to give a speech about the Flushing Remonstrance, but Dr. Matos Rodriguez knows that I could. It's been my honor to be an opening act for Congresswoman Grace Meng this morning, and I hope you will take my advice to heart. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Barry. Now a member of the Assembly with long-time ties to Queens College. He is the son of an alum, and there's a prize that we have, which we gave at baccalaureate last night, which has the family name. He was with us last night. He's with us here today, and he is present often in many campus events. A big advocate for the college up in Albany, the chair of the Disabilities Committee in the Assembly, always looking out for the person with disability, a great friend of higher ed, the father of 2 Queens College alumni. So let's give a big round of applause to Assemblyman David Weprin.
Thank you, President Matos Rodriguez. Good morning, honored guests, distinguished faculty, parents, and of course, you, the 2017 Queens College graduates. It is a true honor for me to be with you all today at Queens College 93rd commencement ceremony. Give yourselves a moment to take in this historic day. Today is the result of your hard work and dedication, a testament to your character character instilled in you by your community, your family, and your friends. Your Queens College degree is proof of all of these things, a symbol of what you have accomplished and a passport to future success. Queens, as you all know, is New York's largest and most diverse borough. If one were to travel across the borough, they could hear more than 160 languages and dialects spoken and meet residents from more than 120 different countries around the world. And the students right here at Queens College are truly representative of the world's borough that we all love and cherish. They represent the values we hold dearly in Queens: mutual respect, understanding, and acceptance. To all the graduates here today, I can say on behalf of myself, the New York State Assembly, and the state of New York, that we are immeasurably proud of each and every one of you. I admire your steadfast determination and your hunger for success. Now, the road ahead will be similar to what you have experienced in college. There will be tasks, projects, assignments, deadlines, and yes, responsibilities. You will be tested and graded in different ways. You will be expected to reach certain goals and objectives. But as you have already proven, you'll be able to handle those obstacles and power through them. The best among you will go on to cure disease, spread peace, and permanently improve the human condition. You will make history and be applauded time and time again. You guys will do great. Now, that will not be the case for everybody. To the mediocre among you, I suggest maybe running for the New York State Assembly or the New York City Council, possibly, where I served for 8 years. Now, although we use commencement as a synonym for graduation, commencement really is just the beginning. And as you embark on your careers, each one of you will find a way to change the world in some way. The world welcomes those who strive to better themselves and those who work to make the world a better place. Armed with a great education from Queens College and the support of those closest to you, the class of 2017 will be an inspiration for your families, your community, and the lives of those you touch. At every turning point in your lives, remember the words of Mahatma Gandhi: live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Assemblyman Weprin. Now, bringing greetings on behalf of the Honorable Governor of New York, Governor Cuomo, is Dr. Guillermo Linares, who, like you, is a proud CUNY graduate. He didn't get his degree from Queens College. Nobody's perfect, but he's a really, really great guy. He got them over at City College. He made history by being the first Dominican American to be elected to office here in New York. He was a city council member. He was a member of the assembly also, and he was the director of the mayor's office of immigrant affairs under Mayor Bloomberg. Now he has a very important position. He is the president and CEO of the Higher Education Services Corporation, which, among other things, runs TAP, the state aid that many of you received, and is administering this Excelsior Scholarship. So please give a warm Queens College welcome to my friend, mi hermano, Guillermo Linares.
Thank you so much, President Matos Rodriguez, members of the faculty, special guests, my colleagues in government, families and friends, but especially the graduate of 2017 of Queens College. Congratulations to every single one of you. Many of us have come to this country as immigrants, I was the first one in my family coming from the Dominican Republic to graduate. And little did I know that so many years later, I would be addressing you here today on behalf of the mayor of the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who asked me earlier this year if I would join him, his administration, serving in this capacity, helping students like me who arrived to this country, because we are all immigrants or children of immigrants. If I would serve in this capacity, I said absolutely yes. And one of the reasons I say yes is because the governor made it very clear that he is making education his top priority for all New Yorkers at this time when we need to have graduates coming from all the colleges throughout the state. And I am here today. We just passed through the legislature the first in the country program that covers free tuition for students in City University and State University of New York to ensure that we prepare the leaders that we need with a graduate degree to face the challenges that this city, this state, and this country is facing right now. I couldn't be more proud to be here today in this wonderful celebration. I would be remiss if I did not mention one of the graduates today. A couple of years ago was my intern when I was in the State Assembly. She's graduating today, and she is moving on to be a New York Urban Fellow. I'm referring to Giselle Cordero, who is one of the graduates here, and I wanted to congratulate her. Never before was so critical for us to obtain a degree from college. By 2020, only 2 years from now, the vast majority of jobs in the state of New York demand and require a 2-year or more degree for you to be competitive. If I were to ask, somebody asked me, what would you say is really the American dream? I would say to them, we have the American dream right here with this celebration, because this country gives an opportunity for you to become what you want to be. And I know that that's where you're heading. On behalf of the governor and all New Yorkers, congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, and the Lord works in a mysterious way. Your former intern, who's the Urban Fellow, was the winner of the prize last night, named after Assemblyman Weprin's mother, Sylvia Weprin. So, you know, it comes full circle. So, very proud recipient. You're a lucky crowd. Many people want to greet you before you get your diploma. Now, to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York is a trustee who has been a trustee of this university since 2003. So 14 years of service as a trustee of this university. A great friend of Queens College. Please welcome Trustee Rita DiMartino.
President Felix Matos Rodriguez, Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs Christopher Rosa, distinguished honorary degree recipients, illustrious guests, members of the faculty, my good friend Vice President Jay Hershenson, families, friends, and most importantly, you, the graduating class of 2017. Class of 2017, first and foremost, my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. I am honored to be here on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York to celebrate your academic achievement. Today is a tremendous accomplishment, and I suspect you're feeling overjoyed. I remember that feeling too when I was sitting in your seats. Hold to this moment of triumph and cherish all the experience and knowledge you have gained at this extraordinary institution. At Queens College, you have been given the background and the tools you will need to build futures for yourselves, your families, and your communities. You now have the skills to use those tools to take yourselves to places you could never have imagined possible before today. I wish to acknowledge the faculty and administrators of Queens College for their devoted efforts to the students, today's graduates as well as tomorrow's, and their dedication to the educational mission of the college and the university. In October of this year, it will be 80 years since this wonderful institution first opened its doors, and as graduates, you now enjoy a strong alumni community of global leaders who carry on the Queens College mission of diversity and inclusion. As a trustee, I can assure you that we also share your dedication and are proud to serve as partners in that mission. As you look to the future, my advice is to be bold and dream big. Be agents of change and make the world better for the next generation. Know that you are prepared with the necessary skills and tools to chart the course of your future and to succeed in creating meaningful and purposeful lives. We all will be rooting for your success. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Trustee DiMartino. Now, to bring greetings on behalf of our Chancellor, James B. Milliken, and of all the members of the Chancellery, is someone who's very familiar to this campus because we're very proud that the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at the Central Office is a graduate of Queens College and sat right where you sat many, many years ago. And was also a member of our team here at Queens College before going to the mothership in the Central Office. So please give a big round of applause to Vice Chancellor, QC alum, Christopher Rosa. We need to get the mic check. Ready?
Is it on? Good morning. Oh, that's much better.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you, President Matos Rodriguez. And to take a page from my hero, your Executive Vice President here at the college, Jay Hershenson, I'd like to ask the question, is the Queens College class of 2017 in the house? I thought so. And now that I have a working mic, and it's apparent that you're a remarkable voice, I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege that may get me fired. But nonetheless, I'd like to ask you to join me in a senior serenade. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, everybody, touching me, touching you. Here we go now. Sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. You made my day. Another bucket list moment for me. This is home for me, and this space is my most sacred space, not only at CUNY, but in the universe. It's the place that contains Kylie Hall, room 175, the home of the Committee for Disabled Students, where I acquired my empowered identity as a proud member of the American disability community. It's the home to Powdermaker Hall, where I was imbued through the sociology department and my mentor, Dean Savage, with the sociological imagination. And it's the home of the Student Union Building, the building by and for Queens College students, whose second floor contains campus ministries, and the Newman Center, led by Father Paul Wood, who we're so glad to have back with us this year, where I grew stronger in faith and in family. And it's also the place where I got to meet my heroes, people like Jay Hershenson, Dave Fields, Andrea Shapiro Davis, and someone who is certainly with us in spirit here today, but is conspicuous by his absence, my mentor, Bert Bachner, who is a proud graduate of the Queens College class of 1954. And Bert was the captain of the tennis team, and he went on to serve Queens College in student affairs for 35 years in various capacities, culminating as the vice president of student affairs, where he impacted the lives of thousands and thousands of Queens College students. Bert was significant to me because he gave me my big break, where other people saw a skinny young kid who used a wheelchair. Bert saw potential and promise, and he took a chance on me and invited me to serve as Director of Disability Services here at this campus. And it set me on a course of a career in student affairs where now I have the privilege, the humble privilege, to serve all of you and thousands of CUNY students, promoting access, opportunity, equity, and success. And it strikes me that none of us would be here today, in particular the graduates of the class of 2017, if it were not for people who believed in us when no one else did, people who saw our promise and our potential. And I asked the graduates of 2017 to close their eyes for a moment and imagine the faces of those people, whether they're here present with you today or they reside in our hearts. And please join me in giving them a rousing round of applause. Today you'll go on proudly with your Queens College degrees in hand, poised to change the face of our city, state, and indeed our nation. You'll go on to be leaders in public policy, in industry, in education, and in healthcare. And as you do so, remember the lesson of Bert Bachner. Remember, as you become leaders, to leave the door open for people who have historically been marginalized and underrepresented. In doing so, you will affirm the core Queens College values of diversity, inclusion, opportunity, and service to others. And most importantly, you'll show everyone who you are, proud sons and daughters of Queens College. Thank you, and God bless you today.
Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor Rosa. Great to have you in the house. Now, to give you greetings, I give you one of your own. Giving greetings on behalf of the Student Association is the current and incoming President Japnik Singh.
In the words of the great DJ Khaled, all praises to the Most High. Wow, this is amazing. I'm very humbled to be here today. It definitely would not have been possible to man above. So this is for the first time in my life that I actually mean my DJ Khaled reference. So thank you, DJ Khaled. Thank you, President Montos, administration, faculty and staff, distinguished guests. It's an honor to be here today graduating. But I have one question in particular. Is the class of 2017 in the house? Nah, I know the weather just got good on us. So it's the class of 2017 in the house. Nice. Okay, that was much better. So on behalf of the entire Student Association team, I would like to congratulate you all on a tremendous accomplishment. It was nothing but an honor to serve you this past year as a student body president. And even though it wasn't always easy, knowing the amount of difference it can make always made it worth it. Seeing why are these people giving out free cookies and hot chocolate faces, or the excitement handing out goodie bags during finals week, or even getting yelled at for harassing you guys during midterm week for voting election week. I will cherish these memories for a lifetime, so thank you for that. What makes this year's commencement even more special is the distinct privilege that I have graduating with you guys. As I look through the class, I can probably say that I have spent some time with you guys in the classroom, which I didn't really go to that much, so don't judge me. And also outside the classroom, which probably sounds more familiar to most of you. But nonetheless, the memories we were able to make here, the lessons we learned, and the experiences we gained here at Queens College will help guide us through the next phase of life. As I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna say here today, I wanted to leave some sort of advice, but what advice can I offer that, because I'm on the same boat as you guys. I spent more than half of my college career harassing you to vote for me for president. So what can I offer you? What meaningful thing can I offer you? I don't know what's to come tomorrow. Heck, I don't know what I'm gonna do as soon as I get off the stage. But the point is, none of us know what we're really to expect for tomorrow. Unlike class, there isn't going to be a person who has all the answers on a Google Drive and who's is willing to share it with you, but that's okay. Some of us will start either graduate school or some other form of higher education, while others will start working and maybe want to travel the world to explore their interests, and that's fine as well. Being a first-generation college student, like many of you here today, who migrated from Punjab, I think there's always an added pressure by certain social and cultural norms of where we live or the communities we identify with. However, these past several years at Queens College have taught me that a fancy name and a costly tuition doesn't always go hand in hand with the quality of learning in and outside the classroom. It took some time for me to realize that I didn't want to go to college to get a degree. I wanted to go to college to learn. The diploma we leave with, the grades we've earned, and the honors we have received have no value beyond the paper that they are printed on. What we do with the knowledge, connections, resources we have worked for these past several years will help us get to where we are ready to go to. Our attitude will determine our altitude. Getting a degree has not qualified me for what life has to come, but has inspired me not for a destination, but for a lifelong journey of learning, inspiring, and success. This is definitely the end of the beginning. Before I close, I think it wouldn't be right if I didn't acknowledge the reason why we're all here today. So I need you guys to help me for this big favor. I need you guys to get up real quick. If you don't mind, get up real quick. I'm sorry to do it. I'm gonna use my authority here. And we need you to turn around. Turn around and look at the beautiful faces right behind you guys. If it wasn't for all the parents, or the family members, or the brothers and sisters, supporters, motivators, mentors, this moment would not be happening. So give them the biggest round of applause you'll ever do in your college career. Thank you guys so much, and best of luck to everything you guys in the future. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Love you.
So, can you please stand up again, please? Just 1 second. Okay. So, this Sunday is Jav's birthday. So, I brought in some cupcakes. The fire marshals wouldn't let me light a candle here, okay, because I can mess up the tent. So, is anybody else celebrating birthdays today or this weekend? Raise your hand. So why don't we sing Jav happy birthday? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jav. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Take care. You might be seated. Thank you. Now it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Sol Kofferberg, a faithful, generous, and supportive Queens College Foundation board member, and confer upon him an honorary degree. Sol, please come to the middle of the stage. There you go. Over here. Provost Elizabeth Henry will read excerpts from the citation for Mr. Kofferberg. The complete text of this citation is in your program.
Your life and career have revolved around service to the people and institutions of Queens as a businessman, benefactor, and advocate for the importance of the arts and education to young people and the larger community. Your parents, the late Max and Selma Kupferberg, were generous friends to your father's alma mater, Queens College. It is in their honor that Colden Center was renamed the Kupferberg Center for the Arts, which is the borough's largest multicultural arts venue. You and your sister Rhoda grew up in Bayside, where you were cherished within an extended family of immigrants and first-generation Americans. Among your father's and uncle's achievements, they founded KEPCO, now a global power supply and electrical equipment company. It remains a family-owned firm based in Flushing. After graduating from Bayside High School, you entered Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, where you earned your BA in religion and graduated with honors in 1974. You had then attended Dropsy College in Philadelphia, now part of the University of Pennsylvania, where you graduated with an MA in Ancient History in 1980. You worked in sales at Strawbridge and Clothier until 1988, when you became KEPCO's Vice President of Sales and Marketing, a position you held for 25 years. Since 2010, you have been a trustee of the Queens College Foundation. Much of the money it raises goes towards scholarships and internships for low-income students. Beginning in 2012, you are a founding member and now are chair of the Kupferberg Center Arts Advisory Board. As a businessman, philanthropist, and working trustee, you have offered extensive service to the college and the community, from keeping good jobs in the borough to supporting the arts and education. For your professional achievements, humanistic values, and contributions to society and culture, we are pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, by the State of New York, and by them entrusted upon me, I hereby confer upon Saul Kupferberg the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto. Thank you. Let's give another big round of applause to Saul Kupferberg. Now I am delighted to welcome back to Queens College Donald Brownstein, Chief Investment Officer and CEO of Structured Portfolio Management, LLC, to confer upon him an honorary degree. Dr. Brownstein, please come to the middle of the stage, and Provost Elizabeth Henry would read excerpts from the citation for Dr. Brownstein. The complete text for the citation is in your program. Thank you.
A philosopher, businessman, and philanthropist, you have more than made good on your early promise. You are the epitome of the talented New Yorker of modest means who, with the assistance of public education, has both achieved spectacular gloves boxer. You moved to Queens at age 8 and enrolled at Queens College at age 16, where you earned a BA in philosophy in 1965. Success in life and made a point of giving back. Born in the Gun Hill section of the Bronx, you were the son of a furrier who was at the University of Minnesota and were awarded your PhD in philosophy in 1969. For the next 20 years, you taught metaphysics and logic. Between 1969 and 1989, you are a professor of philosophy at the University of Texas and the University of Kansas, Lawrence. Your willingness to confront orthodoxy and face down uncertainty has stood you in good stead. A novel paper on the economics of malls led from philosophy. Your story would be incomplete for your inspiring journey from the Bronx to the halls of academe and Wall Street, for your many and varied abilities and accomplishments, and for your continued concern for the public good. We are pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, by the State of New York, and by them entrusted upon me, I hereby confer upon Donald Brownstein the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto.
Well, I wasn't expecting to say anything, but having taught for 20 years, I'm prepared. I haven't been to a commencement since, I believe, 1984, and that was at the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. It's wonderful to return to Queens College and revisit my own commencement here in 1965. I'm really proud to have been and to be a Queens College graduate, and I know that most of you, 50 years from now, will feel the same way as I do. I just want to say congratulations. Life is a strange adventure, but pay attention and enjoy it. Congratulations to you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who's been sitting silently here in the front, that many of you recognize, and that we're lucky to have as your commencement speaker, as the woman who represents the college and many of us in Congress, and the recipient of this year's President's Medal. You might be wondering, after I gave the honorary degrees, right, why am I not conferring an honorary degree upon Congresswoman Grace Meng? As much as I would like, they got some fans there, yes. As much as I would like to do that, New York State law prohibits granting honorary degrees to elected officials. Therefore, the highest award that we can bestow upon Congresswoman Grace Meng today is the President's Medal. Upon her retirement from politics, which we're not looking forward to anytime soon, we'll be happy to have you back and give you an honorary degree. Congresswoman Meng represents the 6th Congressional District with distinction. And I would like now to read parts of the citation for the President's Medal. A Queens native who embodies so many of the qualities that we hope to develop in our students, you have been a consistent and powerful advocate for Queens College. Born in Elmhurst, raised in Bayside and Flushing, you graduated from Stuyvesant High School and the University of Michigan. Nobody's perfect. You earned a law degree from Yeshiva University, Benjamin Cardozo School of Law, and worked as a public interest lawyer before entering public service. You represented the 22nd Assembly District, which encompasses Queens College, for 2 terms in the New York State Assembly. Now you're serving your 3rd term in the House of Representatives representing the 6th Congressional District of New York. As a member of the House Committee on Appropriations, you have the responsibility for funding every agency, program, and project within the federal government. The legislation you have passed includes laws about religious freedom, making Queens historic sites part of the National Park Service, striking the term Oriental from federal law, and protecting public housing residents from insufficient heat. Also signing into law were your measures that assist veterans and members of the military, combat flood damage, strengthen anti-terror initiatives, and improve the safety of school buses and child car seats. You are the first Asian American member of Congress from New York State, and the only member of Congress of Asian descent in the entire Northeast. You are also, yes, you can clap to that. You are also the first woman to represent Queens in Congress since the late Geraldine Ferraro. Today, in recognition of your long-standing service to the people of Queens, we proudly award to you the Queens College President's Medal. Congresswoman McMahon, can you please come? And now, class of 2017, I give to you your commencement speaker, the Honorable Congresswoman Grace Meng.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, President Matos Rodriguez and the entire Queens College and CUNY family. Congratulations to the Queens College graduating class of 2017. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you, your families, your friends, and every person who has ever supported you along this journey we call life. Whether you are a third-generation CUNY grad or the first one in your family to ever graduate from college, I hope you'll take a moment today to recognize the special people around you, because none of us would be here where we are in life without the support of others. My message this morning is a simple one. It is a line Pulitzer Prize-winning author Annie Dillard wrote in her book, The Writing Life, and it is, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. For the majority of the graduating class, you've spent the better part of the last 2 decades listening to your parents, your teachers, your coaches, your professors. You've been told what to read, what to do, how to act, and what comes next. But that ends today. Until this moment, you live confined by a life without the advantages conferred by a Queens College degree. To each graduate, I say, tomorrow is a new beginning. It is a new life. Some of you will choose to make your names in business, like Donna Orender, president of the WNBA. Some of you will choose to become entertainers like Jerry Seinfeld or Paul Simon, while others will pursue political careers like my colleagues in Congress, Joe Crowley and Adriano Espaillat. Still, others of you will become scientists like Marie Maynard Daly, the first African-American woman to earn a PhD in chemistry. And some of you will even go on to become the future educators of America. Are there any future teachers here? No matter which path you choose, just remember this. Each person I just mentioned graduated from this great institution here at Queens College. You are prepared to go into the world just like they were. You will succeed. You will change the standards of success, and you will surpass people's expectations of you. I have a story where I surpassed someone's expectation of me. During my first congressional campaign, I was at my first candidate introduction night. We went on stage. There were about 20 of us from different races, different campaigns, and we just had to say our name, where we were from, and what office we were running for. After I spoke those few words, a woman, potential voter, came running up to me. She almost had tears in her eyes. She said, "You spoke so eloquently. I'm so glad I came. I think I'm going to vote for you." I was so touched because I really hadn't said that many words. So she said, "I didn't know you spoke English." From just seeing my picture and my last name, she probably didn't think I spoke English. So in that moment, I achieved success by surpassing her expectations of me. Queens College has prepared you well. New York City and the borough of Queens has molded you. And your own life experiences, your victories, and your struggles have prepared you for this moment. Utilizing every ounce of your preparation and lessons learned from your experiences, whenever an opportunity presents itself, is what matters from this day forward. And let me say this, I believe in you. We all on stage believe in you. But remember, though, that in all things, how you spend your days is how you will spend your lives. Working 9 to 5 is fine, and I hope you find your calling. But taking extra time to be with your loved ones, to be involved in your communities and your government, and to work to make America a better place than you found it matters way more than a paycheck ever will. Whatever you do in life, give it your best, every day. At the culmination of a life's work, the accumulation of those small hours will amount to a legacy you could have never dreamed of. So use those hours well. For me, I look no further than my parents, who immigrated to America in the early 70s. They worked for years as restaurant workers, 6-7 days a week. And growing up, I rarely saw my dad. I knew he lived with us, but he never came home from work before my bedtime. But they, like so many of your stories here today, they were not ashamed of the work they performed. They lived purposeful lives, dedicated to a future they could not see, but in which they believed, my own. And to them, I'll be forever thankful. Just I'm thankful to every member of my community who helped me to be successful. And now the time has come for me to do the same. I spend each day, whether it's here in Queens in New York City or in Washington, D.C., to make Queens, New York City, and our country a better place. A place that represents the values my parents instilled in me, and the values that I know your parents and our communities instilled in you. I urge you to do the same. I urge you to pursue a life of service to others, whatever form that may take. And dare I say that our country needs you now more than ever. You might serve as an educator, you might volunteer in your community after work, or you might even take care of a loved one who's unable to take care of themselves. But whatever you do, big or small, do it with a full heart. As scripture says, to everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Graduates of 2017, this is your moment. This is your time to laugh. This is your time to dance. And through every season of your lives, I hope you will be mindful of the ways in which you spend your days and be mindful of every season and its purpose for you. I am counting on you. Your families are counting on you. Your community is counting on you, and America is counting on you. I leave you with a story and a lesson that I always try to reiterate to my two kids, my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old. We always tell them no matter what, no matter how hard the struggle, no matter how hard your homework is that day, or how hard it is not to get upset and not be mad at someone, but to never give up, to keep trying and to never give up. So one day, it was way past bedtime, it was dark outside, and I was putting my kids to bed. One of them turns to me and says, "Mom, can we go to the toy store? We need to go to Toys R Us." I said, it's late, the store's probably not open anymore, I don't think we'll make it in time. And he turns to me and he said, "But you said never give up." So I really just wanted to be here today. Thank you to Queens College for this amazing medal. I'm so honored to receive it, and I look forward to working with all of you. Congratulations.
So again, one big round of applause for our commencement speaker, our representative in Congress, Congresswoman Grace Meng. It is now my pleasure to introduce one of you, our graduate speaker, Nina Bacayoanis. Nina is the co-winner of one of Queens College's highest honors, the Paul Clapper Scholarship. She is graduating summa cum laude with majors in psychology and English. Nina is also a member of Phi Beta Kappa. She served as the president of her sorority as well. Come on, sisters. Okay, they're all the way in the back, but they're screaming. And she was also the editor of Utopia Parkway, the college literary journal. As if she was not busy enough, Nina also worked as a research assistant for Professor Renee Goodwin's study on the psychological impact of smoking during pregnancy. And she is a co-author of a forthcoming scholarly article reporting some of the findings of that research. She intends to pursue graduate study in clinical psychology. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you your graduate speaker, Nina Bacayoanis.
Thank you. Good morning, President Matos Rodriguez, members of the Platform Party, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2017. I'm incredibly humbled and honored to be your student commencement speaker. Learning and growing alongside all of you over the past 4 years has been an incredible journey, and I'm grateful to have shared it with this community. I'm elated to congratulate all of you on officially succeeding in every endeavor to receive your degree at this university. The stress of papers, finals, late nights, and impending deadlines was a small price to pay for the honor of being a part of the class of 2017. We came to Queens College seeking knowledge, growth, lasting friendships, and let's not kid ourselves, the chance at getting a well-paying job after graduation. And I can confidently say that this university has provided us with all that and much more. While we reminisce on our accomplishments, we must remember that college has not only been about listening to the voices of those who came before us, but learning how to cultivate and express our own. It is imperative that we continue to make our voices be heard and to speak truthfully, powerfully, and kindly. Our generation is passionate, strong, and ambitious, with a voice that calls out for progress, and this is our most powerful tool. Our transition from college life to the working world will undoubtedly be accompanied by a sense of fear and doubt. In a world of constant uncertainty, it's easy to look at the current job market and become discouraged, to look at the state of society and doubt your ability to make a difference. But if you find yourself caught in this line of thought, ask yourself this: what if those before us thought the same? What if Rosa Parks had moved to the back of the bus because she was daunted by the magnitude of change she needed to spark? What if Shakespeare abandoned writing because he doubted his own abilities? What if the cure for cancer is stuck in the mind of someone sitting in this audience who believes the problem is too difficult to solve? We are at the turning point of a world that is evolving, and this, my fellow graduates, rests on our shoulders. This is our time to make a difference. Fear and apprehension are the two most common obstructions to achieving our dreams. I've lived on this campus for the past 4 years, and at times in the evening, I would go out for a walk by the fountain. I would stare out at the Manhattan skyline in the distance, lights twinkling within the buildings, looking as if they were composed of hundreds of little stars. Just minutes away from our campus is what many people consider to be the city of dreams. And just like that skyline that has been watching over us all these years, your dreams are right in front of you. Don't let the scale of your dreams intimidate you, but instead inspire you like it did the many people whose dreams flourished within the borders of New York City. Right now, it seems like we have ample time to share our voices and go for our dreams. Yet I'm sure you all can agree that these past 4 years have flown by faster than we could have ever imagined. To be conscious of how you spend each of your days in this life is the most profound and useful skill one can attain. I cannot tell you how to spend each day to the fullest. It's a very personal choice, and I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. But my best advice for you, my fellow graduates, is to go forth with your dreams without fear. Step into each new day with courage and resilience, with power and hope. Go armed with the knowledge instilled in you by this prestigious university. Go forward, erring both on the side of caution and ridiculous bravery. Go forward, using your voice to make your dent in our world. The future is daunting and beautiful, terrifying and extraordinary, precarious and wonderful, and it is you. Wherever we go from here on, may we always remember our roots here at Queens College. Congratulations again to the class of 2017. I'm so proud to sit before you and say that we did it. Thank you.
Beautiful. When you get to stay here, I have a surprise for you. Stay here. So how about another round of applause for Nina? And I have a surprise for your graduate speaker. Here with us today is a longtime friend of Nina, who's also a Queens College student who will be graduating next year, Eleni Rosenboom. Yes. Eleni has known Nina since kindergarten. We had at the City University of New York a CUNY-wide competition to have students submit videos, poetry, works that they were inspired talking about diversity in our system. Eleni competed with a poem, and the poem won third prize in that CUNY-wide competition. Yes? And it is a poem inspired on her having known Nina for all these years. So I thought that it'd be so fitting if we could surprise Nina and have Eleni come forward and read the poem for Nina.
Together from preschool through middle school, the invisible wheelchair witnessed flowering friendships, school activities, tests, and graduations. Finally, high school and the harsh reality of the words inaccessibility. Torn apart from her circle of friends, cast out into the stormy ocean of life solo. Starting from the beginning, alone, fighting the battle of acceptance once again. Working hard to silence the stares and prove her personhood, the visible wheelchair witnessing the looks, the struggle, the pain, the loneliness. Now, 21, a new experience for us to take on together. Forgetting that the clubs and bars can hold hundreds of people but no wheelchair. Forgetting that in NYC, the tall buildings and diverse neighborhoods had room for everybody except her. When I'd complain I didn't make enough money at the restaurant, I'd forget that Nina had no accessible job options to provide for herself. I'd forget that she had to find ways to constantly pay for her broken chair, her broken legs. I remember when it came time to apply for college and her pool of options was small. I remember wondering what it feels like to be powerless when choosing your future. Queens College was there and ready to accept and embrace everything she had to offer. Her future was suddenly limitless. I was in awe of her abilities to take on the world, becoming president of a sorority, dorming, double majoring in English and Psych, having her name published in a book, a member of the Honor Society, and editor of the college's literary journal, yet nothing was handed to her. She was finally given the same opportunities as everyone else, and able to move mountains when the world gave her no place to move her chair. She was able to redefine beauty that stings with dignity and authenticity. The stares she receives are no longer for being different. They are stares of envy for the strength within her.
Thank you, Eleni. That was beautiful and moving. Thank you, Nina. I am very happy to welcome a quartet of students from our Aaron Copland School of Music to sing an arrangement of Blue and Silver, an ode to the traditional school colors of Queens College. Anne De Lapinski, Kayla Facilongo, Josh Gerwitz, and Justin Fields are all graduating today. Would you please stand to hear our rendition of Red, Blue, and White? It's Blue and Silver.
Blue and silver proudly flying o'er the college
Thank you so much. You might now be seated. I now have the honor to recognize the alumni groups who are in the audience today. They come from all over the country, and we are happy that we have so many of them here today. Can I please ask the members of the class of 1967 to stand? They came to campus in 1963. The civil rights movement experienced historic struggles and sacrifice. Demonstrators faced dogs and fire hoses in Birmingham. Dr. Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Betty Friedman's book, The Feminist Mystique, was published. And Beatlemania took off in the US with the song, I Want to Hold Your Hand. By the time they graduated in 1967, hundreds of thousands of people around the world joined marches against the Vietnam War. The human being held in San Francisco led to the Summer of Love. Riots occurred in many cities, sparked by racial discrimination. Jimi Hendrix released his debut album, You Are Experienced. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Queens College class of 1967. You might be seated. Next, may I ask the members of the class of 1957 to stand. They entered Queens College in 1953. The Korean War had just ended. President Dwight Eisenhower delivered his Atoms for Peace speech at the UN. Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible, opened on Broadway. And Bill Haley's first performance of Rock Around the Clock occurred. They graduated in 1957. At that point, President Eisenhower sent federal troops to Little Rock Central High School in Arkansas, and in the first major test of the Supreme Court's Brown versus the Board of Education ruling. The Brooklyn Dodgers moved to LA. Anne Randall's novel, Atlas Shrugged, was published. And American Bandstand became a national phenomenon. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Queens College class of 1957. You may be seated. Now I ask that we salute the Queens College class of 1947. You can take your time, ladies. We have 5 alumni representing the class of 1947, and they come from far away as Las Vegas, Virginia, Massachusetts, Jersey, and New York. They entered college in 1943. Italian leader Benito Mussolini had just resigned, and the Allies forced their surrender of Italy. The Great Depression had ended thanks to thousands of jobs created by fighting World War II. General Dwight Eisenhower became Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, and Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical Oklahoma opened on Broadway. By the time they graduated in 1947, the House of Un-American Activities Committee began investigating people in Hollywood. A rash of UFO sightings began, including in some areas like Roswell, New Mexico. Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire opened in Broadway, and Jackie Robinson was signed by the Brooklyn Dodgers. We have 5 remarkable ladies representing the class of 1947. I want to give a big round of applause to, I'm going to name them, wait, give me a second. Marian Aloka Aberli, Rosa Santandreu Fernandez, Marcia Kingsland Friedman, Stella Greenberg Nadell, and Audrey Goldstein Singer. Please give a big round of applause to the Queens College class of 1947. You might be seated, ladies. Do you have a copy of your program open? That's right. You're following the program. It says the charge. The president's charge. Do you know what the charge is? No? The charge is the president's speech. Oh no, please. No, help us. Another speech, no. You've had two incredible speakers today, Congresswoman Meng and Nina. And we love their speeches and they were inspirational. You'd be sitting there quietly. I have a hunch that if I gave you the option between granting diplomas and hearing my speech, all right? So in an exercise of democracy, all those graduates who would like me not to give a speech and give diplomas, please rise.
By Adam Rockman, Vice President for Student Affairs. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts please rise? Alex Camacho Vargas is representing these candidates. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Music please rise? Audrey Janice Edelstein is representing these candidates. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts please rise? Carmen Cartagena is representing these candidates. Congratulations. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Library Science please rise? Edward Hogpilling is representing these candidates. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Science please rise? Elizabeth Purr Farrell is representing these candidates. Thomas, please rise. Christina Bellany is representing these candidates. Please be seated. Will the candidates who are to receive both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree today please rise? Matthew Rosenberg is representing these candidates. Please be seated. Now, will all candidates for master's degrees, as well as candidates for all professional and advanced certificates and specialist diplomas, please stand. President Matos Rodriguez, I present to you these candidates and respectfully request that you confer upon them the master's degrees, professional advanced certificates, and specialist diplomas for which they are qualified.
Madam Provost, by the authority vested upon me in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York and entrusted to me by them, I hereby confer upon you the master's degrees, professional and advanced certificates, and the specialist diplomas for which you have qualified with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated.
I will now present the candidates for bachelor's degrees. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music please rise? Representing these candidates, Alina Pena will be hooded. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration and Bachelor of Arts please rise? Representing these candidates, Elena Spector will be hooded. Please be seated. Will all bachelor's degree candidates please rise? President Matos Rodriguez, I present to you these candidates and respectfully request that you confer upon them the bachelor's degrees for which they are qualified.
Madam Provost, you can all touch the tassel. You cannot move it yet. You can touch it, okay? And be ready. By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York by the State of New York, and by them entrusted upon me, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor degrees for which you have qualified with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto. Graduates, now is the moment. You can now switch your tassels from left to right. Congratulations and welcome to the Queens College Alumni family. It is time from a long-standing Queens College tradition that we've been performing here since the first graduating class back in 1941. So I will ask all the graduates to stand up again one more time. It's okay. Turn around. And to show your appreciation to all your loved ones and families, please give the members of an audience a big, big round of applause. An applause to your parents, loved ones, faculty, staff, friends, all the ones who made this moment possible. This has been a wonderful commencement. I want to thank all of you who participated. I wish, it's okay now, you can turn. I wish you all, you can sit down, and I wish you all the best as you begin your life after Queens College. Please do not be a stranger, And remember that Queens College will always be with you in spirit. While you might no longer be a Queens College student, you have now joined the distinguished ranks of the Queens College alumni. Congratulations. And now, to officially close this commencement ceremony, I have to give you one more word of caution. In your programs, we put new pages 25 to 29, right, to update some of the graduates. So make sure you get the right list before you leave, right? It's an insert to the program, pages 25 to 29. And now, to officially close this commencement ceremony, I would like to bring back to the stage our Chief Marshal, Professor Heems, back to the podium.
I don't have my script. Ladies and gentlemen, the 93rd, I do have my script.
El Presidente, always ready.
Thank goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing until the center aisle recessional for the platform party and the faculty is complete. Additional ceremonies for various academic programs and divisions will begin in 30 minutes. Their locations are in your program on pages 50 through 51. The script tells me to bang on the podium 3 times. The 93rd commencement exercises of Queens College of the City University of New York are now concluded. Congratulations.